I was diagnosed when I was about 19 years old. I experienced symptoms from the age of 17 and went through numerous tests, stool samples, upper GI, barium enema, and then finally I was diagnosed in 2002. For the first 8 years, it was a challenge. Every day was a challenge, getting out of bed, being able to try and go through the trial and error of what should I be doing with my body, how should I eat, what doctors should I see, what's available for me as an individual living with Crohn's disease. I've been able to overcome these obstacles through diet, seeking help through naturopath, gastroenterologist, chiropractor, dietitians, trial and error of foods, handling my stress, exercise. Personally, I've focused on the nutritional aspect and management of stress. I don't eat certain foods. Now I'm in remission and have been for 2 years. So I'm able to eat more than what I was years ago. The first couple of years, I would say, were a little more difficult for me sharing my personal experiences. But as I got more used to what was going on with my body and could figure it out, then I was more apt to share and talk to people about it. I talked more with my family, my friends. But then as it became a challenge for me going through university, I had to be able to speak to my profs and let them know that if I had to jet out of an exam early, it wasn't because I was cheating, it was because I needed to use the washroom or something like that. So, I mean, at first it was difficult to deal with it and let other people in on my story, but I've overcome that, and I'll share anything about living with Crohn's disease with anyone who wants to know. When I was first diagnosed, I didn't know about any tools that were available out there. As my disease progressed, I was made more aware of what was available, that there was nonprofit, there was other medical team members that I could speak to, and I did take advantage of those over the last couple of years to try and help me further manage my disease. Some advice I would provide to others living with Crohn's disease is you're not the only one out there. There are other people who are struggling, and our voice needs to be heard. People need to be more aware that we are people too, and we have a life, and we can live our life the way we want to. I want my story to be heard. If my story can benefit someone else that has a similar story, and knowing that they too can be heard would make a lot of difference. If I were to hear stories when I was first diagnosed of people who struggle too, I think that would have benefited me.